Okay, this is my Coursework 2 recording. Yep, let's just begin it. So for our first material, we have just done this basic brick. We have our X UV tiling and Y UV tiling that goes into the float. It gets multiplied by the text coordinates straight to the thing, so we can then go to, for example, this one. And if we leave it like this, and we're to, let's say, change this to 1 and 1, it will change it. Oh shit, pardon me. Or if you want 10 for more of a like bigger wall, essentially, we'll look at that. So if we were to just slap this on here, for example, it does stretch it because it's not straight. But yeah, that is the task 1. For task 2, it was to make glass. So this is our glass. You can see through it. You can kind of, you can't, but you can see through it. It does have like a, yeah, like a little reflections, if you can see, like near the emission, near the task 3 one. So it does have some sort of reflection to it. And the customizable things for this one is, so we have the metallic, opacity, refraction, and roughness. There should be one. No, there's not one more. Perfect. Okay, cool. So yeah, and if you look at the mirror, like if you can see here compared to there, there's like a little image on there which you can change, which I'll show after. So if you want to add the metallic to, let's say 100, or the opacity to straight 1, that's how it looks with the image on. That was at 1, I think, yeah. Or the refraction, which is the not clearness, the I forgot the name of this. Like how the see-throughness? No, see-throughness? The glass effect, there we go. The glass effect, we can change it, which essentially makes it look nice. Yeah. But we put it to 1.52, which is the actual glass refraction rate. And then you also have roughness, which doesn't do much. Okay, so the way this looks inside of our task here. So we have essentially it's metallic into metallic, roughness, the texture sample, so which is this, which uses black. So black will basically allow us to see through, while white will not, as you can see on here, where this is the white and that is the black. It gets multiplied by the opacity. Then you also have the Fresnel effect and refractions. That is the task 2, essentially. It's very basic, very easy. Okay, and then task 3 is our lovely block over here, which is like an emission effect, some glowing. I actually like this one a lot. It's probably my favorite one. With a little animation timer to make it turn on and off. So the way this one works is, we find it firstly. There we go. Yep. So we have the, so as I was saying, we have the pulse strength, which uses just the basic black, which we can change into a different color. So if let's say we want to do a green, it can change to green, but we are going to leave that like that. Yep, so we have the glow intensity and the color strength, which gets added together and then multiplied by the pulse strength. And then we have the speed. So the basic speed is set to 0.5, because otherwise if it's at 1, it goes quite fast. And then if you go to 10, we'll get some epilepsy. There you go. So when I move around, it does it. So I'm going to leave that at 0.5. Yeah, time and the glow speed will get times, multiplied, and then goes into sine, multiplied again with the pulse strength, and then goes into emissive. So yeah, if we open up this one, so firstly you can change the color. If we want it to be blue, I'm assuming this is. Blue doesn't really show. If we just put okay, so we get more like a pink or a green. Let me change this to make this faster. There you go. Yeah, so we have like a green. The glow intensity makes it more brighter, as you can see. It doesn't actually give like a bright light effect, so if we were to make the skylight less, essentially. Why I want to change it to nighttime. Okay, anyway, figure that nighttime. Can I? No, I can't. Okay. Yeah, so they're the variables we have: glow speed, glow intensity, and pulse strength, which you can also see here. If let's say I want to make it faster, make it like really flashing object, which I probably will never do, because we don't want to give someone any epilepsy or anything. Yeah, so let me change it up to 1, so we get the color, Oh, I need to save it for now, yeah. I might have broken it. Anyway, give me 1 second. No, I had to reload. Correct, stop it. Yep, so that is our task 3. Now, task 4, which is... We'll not save anything because it's already saved. Yeah, task 4 is simple. When you walk over here, you can see them in the corner. But then when you walk up to them, you can, they're just blocks chilling over here. Yep, and it's like an X-ray vision, essentially. So we'll just go over here. Yep, and you can see it through any wall. The way we set this one up, so we have it set on our post, this one, which was blendables. Yep, so we have our post processing material set as a blendable. Yep, so the way we did this, let's start from here. So we use our custom depth and seam depth with a mask on them to only get the red. Yes, the other RGB values. It will then, they subtract from each other. Then we have the if statement, which has the white, that's the black one, and these are the white, to make sure that you can always see something, because if not, everything kind of goes black in the scene. This will then get multiplied by the range, which is set to 1 million, which I could change to, let's say, 10, but I'll do that when I'm showing it off in the thing. The alpha value, and then it gets clamped to make sure we always never get a minus. Then these two will both get multiplied and then clamped again. Then we have the post-processing input with the color, so we can change color to everyone if we want to have purple, blue, yellow, etc. All 3 of these values will go into a lerp and then take list of color. So, the way this works as an instance. So let's say we want the range. Let's just head in here into our post film, and I have no clue why it makes everything grey. I've tried fixing, I don't know. So let's say we want this to be 10. It won't come up until we are 10 units away. Yep. So we just sort them. Or let's say we want it to be, so if we have it at 1 million, for example, now how far, obviously we have to be in the processor, so if we just change this to a unbounded one, unbound, yeah, so it's just going to be infinitely everywhere, essentially. Now how far we get, they'll carry on showing our blue, so we can also change the color, so let's say a red, or a yellow, whichever color we want, and it will always show, no matter how far we get. The alpha will basically make it either sharp or not, or how bright it will be more essentially. So if I want to do 15, they're extremely bright. If I do 1, so it's 0 to 1. If I do 1, they're extremely bright. If I do 0.1, they really, you can kind of just see them. They're quite dark. But yeah, that is the Coursework 1 to 4. Yeah. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention in this one, the glass. If let's say I want to change the texture to this, let's just say. Alright, let me turn this off so it's in blue again. It will change when I save it. Yep, so now it's like it's only showing certain textures, but you can still see through it. Mainly because the white is the one that shows, not the white, sorry. Let me find a different one, so I think this one will be better. Let's save that. Yeah, so you can see it does take the UVs in, no, the textures in. And real quick, our folders. So we have our textures, all named correctly, task 1, task 2, while materials all have their ints and everything saved correctly. Thank you for watching. Nice.